Hey everybody, my name's Katerina Alexander and I'm here chatting with Milky. I think it's just elevated. The lyrically, sonically, it's all just one step, at least one step up. I'm going to say 10 steps. So the album's called Young in Love, and when I was writing this record, I didn't really know conceptually what body of work was going to come out of it. I just kind of wrote, and then in hindsight looked back and I studied all the songs and I went through them a bunch of times, and I realized it actually took me finding the title of the album to figure out what the concept was and what every song meant conceptually, what I was writing about. So in hindsight, I was combing my lyrics looking for the title of the album. Nothing fit. You know, I might get Queen. I was like, that's not conceptually what this album's about. And Young in Love, it took me a while to find Young in Love. And when I found it, I was like, yes, I am commenting on kind of all these different aspects of being young and in love, whether that's being in love with yourself, the ego, commenting on what inner turmoil you go through being young and trying to figure out yourself whilst being in love, or whether that's commenting on a relationship or a fleeting moment, that feeling that you have. It's all tied into love, whether it's with yourself, with another person, whether that be romantically or it's someone in your family. This might be kind of funny, but what I learned was I'm a good songwriter. I suppose normally I base a lot of my music sounds on the 80s, whether it's Fleetwood Mac or any other iconic band artist from that era. But for this album, I was really inspired by modern artists. I'm not going to say top 40 or anything because that's not the case, but kind of alternative indie people that I was just loving at the moment. And I would always take one of their songs and be like, oh, this feels so good. Let's do a song that makes me feel like this. And that's kind of, yeah, sonically how it came to be. Yeah, I definitely had a distinct creative process. I had a routine every day. So I would go for a walk in Byron. I'd go to my favorite cafe, write my lyrics, listen to songs that I was inspired by, and then I'd take that to the studio and be like, this is what I want to write about. This is conceptually and also lyrically, sonically. So I kind of had ideas before I walked into the studio, but that's why I wanted to write it where I did, which was in Byron Bay, because I wanted to be structured in my family space. I didn't want to just be, in the studio till midnight every night. I wanted to have structure in my life. And so wanting that, I had to structure my songs too, I suppose. And I believe that's why I wrote so many good songs, is because I went in prepared. I don't know if it'd instantly make people a fan, but if you're into art or songs or, just really into the artistic presence of someone, I would say Bigger Person, Date Night, and I Never Really Knew You, or Butterflies, which aren't the singles. Date Night's a single, but I mean, yeah. I think 7 Minutes in Heaven, the chorus of that, and I think that's why it became, Young in Love is in that chorus. And I think the fact that it gets stuck in my head or it comes to me is why it became the title of the album. Morgan was an interesting one. My A&R just suggested him, and I went home and listened to his music and instantly fell in love. He'd just released his single Over For You. I was like, who is this artist? What is this genre of music that I've never really listened to before? And my husband and I became absolutely obsessed with Morgan's voice and his storytelling. And I was like, it's him, or we give this song to Keith Urban. Like, I want him to be, it's given to Keith Urban. So that's how that one came about. Laurel was, All Night was a last song that was written for this record. The record was pretty much finished and mastered. It was a really spontaneous last minute decision to get into the studio together. And literally all we wrote was the chorus. And I said to her, Laurel, is it fine if I use this song? Like, I want this. Like, I dibsed it before she could take it. And I was like, of course you're featuring on it. But yeah, we'd been kind of internet buddies for a while. And that was a really sweet kind of, not as kind of focused as Morgan Evans to like get him on the record. It was more of a just, oh wow, this song's amazing, and like this was meant to be. pretty much every day. I have a really good relationship with my A&R, and every day I'd finish a song and I'd send it to my A&R, and he'd be like, oh my God, that's like literally the first song I sent him. He said that's the single. And every day I sent him a song, he's like, no, that's the single. And it was just a really easy process writing the songs. We actually did try and change a few of the songs sonically. We really took them in different directions, but we always came back to what they were originally, which I thought was really cool. It just means we were on a roll and I was onto something and it didn't need to be changed. I'm really excited. I've never put together a tour like I'm putting it together. I've never kind of really been invested in the storytelling during the show itself. And I feel really lucky that I get to do that on this tour, because you guys have pretty much sold it out. So it gives me a bit more leeway to have a lot more fun creatively with it. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to crafting. I literally need to get on a call today or tomorrow with my MD, music director, and go through everything, which we're kind of pushing a little bit fine because we're really close to the tour. But I'm determined to perfect this and have a story. It was actually inspired, the way I want to do this album tour was inspired by me watching Morgan Evans many nights during last October around about, when I was on stage with him playing date night. Every night I wanted to watch his whole show. I was just so enamored by the show itself and the flow of songs, and I was really inspired to do that myself. Fleetwood Mac. Flume. I feel like this is going to be the same. Rumours, Fleetwood Mac. Harry Potter? I don't remember that one, that question, but also it's the first thing that came to my mind. Don't fuck up. Hannah Montana. I'm not the bigger person. Oh, Opportunity by Pete Murray. Look, I'm going to say Fleetwood Mac, but I could... Oh, look. Okay, Fleetwood Mac. Spice Girl. Oh my God. Like Kitty? I don't know. I've never thought Taylor Swift. Let's just say Madison Garden, because I sing about it in my song Queen. I've never played karaoke, but let's say Stacey's Mom. Yeah, fuck yeah. Probably the Opera House with Morgan Evans. That was just like sitting on that stage and opening my eyes and seeing all the people just in the stands. That was really cool. Taylor Swift? Nah, Fleetwood Mac. Remember priorities. Means expression. I'm not listening to music. I'm hugging my family. When I got a reply on the emails I cold sent to managers, I was like, I'm going to do this then.